bandit attack on Kwara community in Kaiama local government area of Kwara State are currently receiving treatment in hospitals. Senator representing Kwara North Senatorial District, Sadiq Umar, paid a visit to the victims, where he described the incident as heartbreaking and prayed for their speedy recovery. He also reassured the victims of his continued support during their period of recovery. The senator commended President Bola Tinubu for the deployment of security personnel under Operation Savannah Shield to restore peace and track down perpetrators of the attack. The lawmaker also commended Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak for what he described as swift intervention, particularly the directive to the State Emergency Management Agency to provide relief materials for affected persons. Well, joining me on the news at 7 is global security expert Femi Aratoko. Mr. Aratoko, let's begin the conversation with the growing collaboration between Nigeria and the global community. We've seen the U.S. support our counter-terrorism efforts. We also hear in other countries, showing interest and offering their sympathies at this critical time. What do you think we're doing differently?
Thank you so much for having me on this program. May the departed souls, rest on. Well, the question is this the kind of message we're going to be preaching every time we want to discuss issues that regards to security on our national news or to the international community? The answer to that is no. But however, the swift intervention of the whole community, the UN, the global state networks, condemning the act is a good one. However, internally ourselves, what exactly are we doing to make sure that situation like this seems not to happen again? This is the worry. This is biggest thing that we are all worried about. Even including me myself as a security analyst, I keep on wondering, what exactly are we doing that is so difficult that we cannot achieve good results? We have the security network, we have the forest guards, we have many kinds of security architecture or architects or, operators in Nigeria, in Kwara State. But the question is, why are we failing? Those are the key things we should be asking ourselves. And besides, I have heard different views, different versions that this present attack was equally, being reported way before time, before this action was taken, and what happened in Kwara State. That remains another question
Mr.
that the government, the SSA, should be asking.
You're not the only one who has raised this critical question, and it's actually a question I wanted you to proffer answers to, because it does appear as though, there is some level of notification about where these attackers operate from. You hear, okay, they are located in some territory between between 3 states, and that is where they launch their attacks from. So how are they able to plan their attack, and we as a people are unable to, go ahead and meet them and even carry out, whether it's defensive or even to the point where it's offensive, and we are not just being reactionary?
You see, thank you for the question you just asked me. And the simple answer to that is this. I will say it in a Nigerian street language. That simply means it's choked. We are all choked because the government red tape is not giving access to the real people that want to carry out all this assignment to do the job. So it's down to the government to okay, if we want transparency in all this, let us give free hands to people that really want to work. The community leader actually said a whole lot, and reports were given. So how come we're not taking all this into account? And how come we are just laid back that at the end of the day, all we can just do is go back and start, condoning people that are meant to not to be condoned in the first place? The community is raised now. The question is this: how do you expect them to go back? So the answer to all this is this: the military, the security architecture, the government should actually be blamed for all this that is happening in Kwara State today. There is no doubt about that.
About the situation in Kwara State, situation in Kwara State, we have now seen not just approval, but actual deployment of troops. But I'm just curious, how sustainable is this? Because the question is, should this be a one-off thing, or how do we ensure that the troops, yes, are positioned there and they can actually keep the people secured for a really long time?
The question is that, you see, the answer to that is this: we are just reactive to situation. We are never proactive. And what we want to say is the proactiveness of our security officers, the security community members, doing what they are meant to do and act on it. Because right now, all we can just see at the end of the day is condemn, 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 condemn. But no one is talking about, let us take some active measures before attacks are happening in Nigeria or in certain communities. Do not forget, all these communities we are talking about are just nothing but a specimen for all these terrorists, because we have no security on grounds to protect them. And this is the situation we're facing today.
So could this be a case of our security operatives being overwhelmed, or is it that we need more people to join forces with them to actually tackle the situation?
It is not as if security are overwhelmed or we don't have people that want to join. The question is, why are people not joining, and why are we not providing the right equipment, the right apparatus, the right understanding of what they should do and how they should go about it, and arrest people they should arrest and prosecute them. These are the kind of things we want to see. However, we're not seeing all this. All we see is attacks happening, but no one is actually, coming out to say, yes, these are the people we've arrested, and these are the kind of judgment we're going to be giving to them. So our judiciary needs to work, while our police officers and other security networks must step up their game in understanding the kind of threat they face and how they're going to survive, to stabilize the community and put people to real safety that is needed in Nigeria.
Global security expert Femi Aratokun, many thanks for your time on TVC News at 7.
Thank you so much for having me on the program.
When TVC News